Sleepy Hollow Season 2, Episode 15, What Lies Beneath. Now, I really enjoyed this episode because it actually gave us a couple of good surprises that are going to really affect the rest of the season, which there are only a couple episodes left, like actually only 2 episodes. So I'm incredibly excited for what they're going to be doing. And oddly enough, the preview, which, you know, technically is separated completely from this episode, that was one of the biggest moments of tonight just because of all the crazy stuff that it showed with Katrina basically going full on evil, and that kind of accompanied some of the stuff we got in this episode, especially with the ending and pretty much everything we got with Captain Irving in this episode. But I really enjoyed it. Like, the main story was actually pretty cool. We got introduced to a new character who most likely will end up coming back in like season 3, a reporter, and he's kind of in the fold now. He knows about the monsters a little bit. He got like a little taste of it, but he's trustworthy. He's on the team, and of course he'll be brought in later in the series. But we got introduced to him. We got a really cool sort of labyrinth thing going on, and basically in the tunnels that they didn't even know about, and it's a bunch of tunnels, so I wouldn't expect them to know every nook and cranny of it, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I was really excited for the preview, or for this episode, because of its preview, because we got to see Thomas Jefferson, and it was like, how the heck is he alive? He's in like this underground building and all this stuff, and I was very, very curious, and we got answers that were definitely cool, and then we got like one of the most unfortunate things, which was that what they had to do in order to help the people survive that they were trying to save. They had to destroy this giant, basically it was like a library. It's like a mini library, just one room, just packed to the rim with whatever, packed to the brim, because not the rim, but just packed full of all sorts of information that they needed. And it was kind of interesting that we got to see this really great place. It had like cool magic slash technology with the half hologram, half real type of thing. Because it was weird that they couldn't touch him, but he was walking around like picking up books and handing them stuff. So that, I thought, didn't really make as much sense, because it's like, how is he touching all this other stuff, but he just can't touch a person? Like, it didn't make sense to me. But I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool, and him kind of giving them the history. Like, we knew that Ichabod was, one of the witnesses, but we couldn't tell him. We couldn't give him any help. We couldn't give him any information until the second witness came around. And I thought that was actually really cool. It kind of sucked because of just all the timing and stuff. Even he said it was like, well, it kind of sucks, but these guys gotta die because, all of this information is for the two of you, so that you can find mentors to help you guide, or help guide you down the right path, and help you find a way to defeat all the crazy monsters you've already faced and all the craziness that you're going to be facing in the future. And I thought it was really cool, and I really wish, I think my biggest hope during this episode was honestly that they'd be able to get the guys out and not have to destroy it. That was like my biggest hope, because I felt like it would have had, it would have led to so much extra content in the series, where even if they had all these answers, it doesn't technically mean they would have just instantly won, because really, when you think about it, it's a lot like the archives. It's, of course, a bit more specialized, towards them, so it would give them way more answers than them kind of just, going through the books like, oh, I remember this, let me check out this book. So, of course, it would have helped them way more than the books they have in the archive currently, but I don't think it would have been just like the be-all end-all to their issues. They would have still had all the crazy stuff, like with Irving, like, how do we save him, how do we do this, how do we officially defeat this monster or that monster, and all the random issues that come up, because them being a witness, it wasn't just like stop all supernatural things. It was kind of specific to the Moloch stuff, and I'm sure a couple of other things that haven't really been introduced in the series yet. But it wasn't just like they're witnesses, so they stop all supernatural things. It wouldn't have an answer for every issue, that they would ever face. So I was really hoping that there would be some way they could save it, and unfortunately they couldn't do that, and it really sucked to see that go, because it felt like it could have been like just a whole new hub. It made perfect sense. It was already in the tunnels. It would be like, we can go from the archives to here, and I was just so hopeful. I was like, I really hope they get out of here and the things don't jump awake, which I knew they would. Like, once they were walking through, it's like, in anything ever, it's like, crap, these things are asleep. Someone's going to step on some bones or trip or say something, and they'll wake up. In this case, it was even crazier because they just jumped up. Like, the one was just, completely asleep and just jumped up like something's wrong. And then, everything went crazy. But despite the fact that they lost it, I still really enjoyed it. It was cool, the little glimpse that we got. Seeing Jefferson and his interaction with Ichabod, both past and present, I actually thought was fairly interesting. And him being sort of, opposed to the decision that Abby and Ichabod wanted to make, and, did make ultimately. And he was opposed to it to the very end when he locked the gate, and it was like, hey, the gate can hold him. You guys can just keep this because this is why it's here. It's like the entire reason little structure was built was for you and Abby. So it really did suck to me that they had to destroy it, and it makes it even crazier because we never knew about it, and it's just like it was introduced. It was basically like if you got the Holy Grail and you just destroyed it. Like, we need the Holy Grail, or we need Excalibur, which I think Excalibur is a much better metaphor. But it's like you get Excalibur, like the weapon that you need, and then it's just like, well, I gotta break it, I gotta destroy it, and that's pretty much it. It's gone, and that just really sucked. Like, there's so much hope in that, and unfortunately we lost it. But I want to move on from that because obviously I really enjoyed it and I wanted them to have it, but they won't. So I really enjoyed it. Sort of sucked that they had to get rid of it. I thought I was really hopeful for it, but I still love that side of the story, the little bit of history that we did get, and just the simple interactions that occurred from that I thought were really cool. Then the other side of the episode with Irving and Jenny, I thought was really cool. I was very surprised by it. I didn't think that there was really going to be that big of a side story, but the side story really was way more important than the main story, considering the fact that they did end up destroying the building at the end. I can't remember the name. I think it was like the Fanistella. So technically the Irving stuff is a lot more important because it's still current. Like, they didn't kill off Irving, so he's officially like a part of the Hellfire Club because he has the ruin, and he realizes that this dark side of him is taking over because his soul is tarnished. He didn't even really remember some of the stuff that happened when he first woke up, which kind of explains why he didn't have the reflection, because of no soul, and it was like the evil side of him and all that stuff. So him kind of going evil, which was also in the trailer where he had like a sword or something on his back, he's basically being consumed by the evil portion of his soul because his soul is tarnished. And I thought it was a great moment. I thought it was really cool. He had like a good Irving moment because he was, clear-headed. So he was able to tell Jenny, like, hey, get this money to my wife and my daughter before I'm basically gone for real this time. And maybe even worse, like worse than dead, he's evil and killing other people, which in their case could be way worse because it's magic, so it could just spread across the world, really. But I enjoyed that. I thought it was really cool. It was a nice little twist. It was really cool that, all this stuff going on with Irving, Jenny was the one to figure it out, because although Abby and Ichabod have like clearly established roles in the series, they know some magical stuff. Jenny was the one who, even when she was first introduced, it was like, yeah, I was working with Sheriff Corbin, like, when you were in the academy and all this stuff. She knew about all these magical things before the time period of the series. So I always love the fact that when she kind of comes into play, it's like she knows certain things that even Ichabod might not know, or if he does know, she knows them as well, and she didn't live through them. So I always love when they give her those types of moments, and this was definitely one of those moments in the series where she saw the markings, she knew it was the Hellfire Club, and she had to kind of go on. She had to come up with this plan, like, I'll help him out, and I will see exactly what's going on, and that's what she did, and I thought it was really cool. And she did end up helping him in a different way. Unfortunately, he's still kind of, going dark side without any control of that. That's like the one positive, I guess, is that he's not choosing to do it. But I didn't really expect that he had any choice in it anyway. I figured he came back either with no soul at all, or like he said, a kind of darker, tarnished soul, and he didn't exactly have control over it. So it kind of ended up being what I expected, and that of course sucks for him. Once again, it seemed like, he was badass when he died. He came back to life, and it was like, all right, he's finally getting happy moments, and then right back to the normal crap for his character, where he has like, the no soul thing is carrying straight on through death as well as revival. So he's kind of going right back towards having like the saddest storyline, which is everything goes wrong for his character. But it's definitely entertaining to watch. I hope that there is some way to fix it and he isn't completely consumed by his dark side. But it was definitely a great, surprising part of the episode. As far as I was concerned, I didn't really think either of them were really going to be in this episode. But that was really cool. And then, of course, the very ending of the episode with Katrina and Parrish, and that was a great scene. Like, she kind of decided to go dark. She finally woke up. He was there. He gave her the little black rose or whatever. He basically just said, I'm alive, and we're gonna be working together." And that's gonna have a huge impact on the characters because, of course, I don't know if Irving knew that Parrish was gonna do that or not, and that could turn into a whole new thing with them finding out that Irving is going kind of evil, which I have to assume Ginny would tell them anyway. But with Katrina deciding to go basically completely evil, which we really saw a lot of in the trailer, I don't know what to expect for these last couple episodes or for all of season 3. Like, is she gonna be like the partnered up villain with her son? And basically what they said in the preview is that, like, once the Liberty Bell is struck, a bunch of people are going to turn into witches. I don't know if that's going to be permanent. I kind of hope it is, honestly. I hope they don't get to solve that, and that leads into like a whole big thing in season 3. But I'm really excited for it. It kind of sucks that Katrina's going evil, of course, but I'm incredibly excited. There's only 2 episodes left, so I don't know how insane it's going to get, but if it's anything like the mid-season finale or the past season finale for season 1, I think it's going to be great. So I'm really excited for these next 2 episodes. Of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this one, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and what do you guys think Parrish is going to be doing? Like, what is his ultimate goal? Is it just to be like a world-dominating villain or something? I mean, he doesn't really harbor ill will towards his parents anymore, so him talking about like taking control of fate and fate bending to his will instead of the other way around, it's like he could just leave and kind of do spells that don't necessarily cause a bunch of death and stuff and still kind of get whatever he wants, but he's choosing to be evil, I feel. And he made that decision. He's a wolf, as he put it. So I don't really know what to expect, but I think obviously it's something evil. I just don't know, like, the main mental reason behind it. Is it just, I'm evil because I like it and that's it? Which I guess technically can be a good reason. There are a ton of great villains to do it. But that's what I think. And like I said, I want to know what you guys thought. So please comment below and let me know. And thanks for watching.